Got a flight, nigga can't even see me on way out of here. I'm too far in the sky. Heard me, it's ash for the dark, my ash.
Yo, what is going on, guys? As you can see, got a face cam, back cam up so you guys can see the beautiful back of my head while I make this watch list tonight. Doing something a little bit different. We're going to have the camera up just so you guys can see exactly what I'm seeing on all of my screens here. And hopefully it's more enjoyable to watch and you guys like it. I might start doing them more often. We'll see. But tonight we're going to be working on the watch list. The daily watch list. As you can see, I do make one, as you guys know, every single night, very in-depth, with the best opportunities that I see in the market each and every day. And we're going to do that together tonight on this video, and I hope you guys do enjoy and find it helpful. Now, first things first, now we're going to start out by going to finviz.com. This is what I use to make the watch list, every single night, and it's honestly the best tool that there is to really, thin out your search and really sift through all the crap in the market is what I'll call it. So first things first, as you know, I do primarily alert small caps. So we're going to start out by going to the screener. We're going to change our market cap to small, under 2 billion market cap here. And that's just going to filter out the mid and large cap names just so that we can see the best opportunities that do fit our certain trading style and the server. So we're going to start out with the small market cap there, and to find the most active name, what we're going to be doing here for my broad scan, I run a broad scan, then I run some other, more, particular, more picky scans as well at the end. So we're going to start out with a very broad scan. We're going to look for relative volume, and that's going to show us the most active names in the small cap world from, the last day, the last week, and we're going to look for names that are more, that have been active for the past week or so. So we're going to start out by changing our average volume to over 300K just to make sure it's not some low volume turd. We're going to change our relative volume to 1.5. And now what is relative volume, you might be asking? Well, relative volume is the amount of volume that it has over its average volume. So if you have it set to 1.5 average volume or over 1.5 relative volume, what that means is that the stock traded in its last trading session, it traded 1.5 times its average volume. As you can see, the total is 205. That's a ton of tickers to go through. So I might actually bump it up to 2 just because small caps overall have been a little bit more active the last week or so. So all of them have a little bit more relative volume. They have more volume than normal. So we're going to bump that up to 2 just so it's a little bit more picky and shows us the names that are more active than others. So now we have 100 tickers to go through, and while that might seem a lot, I actually skim through a lot of these relatively quickly because I know what I'm looking for, and what I'm looking for is stocks that have broken over key daily levels on the chart with high volume, and we're going to look for those pullbacks for new highs. We're going to look for flush entries on names that moved a lot last week and just stuff like that. So it's super easy to go through really, really quickly, and you can really see where these names are at on the chart as far as the daily levels go. ARI, for example, this is a great example of a key daily level break where it's at a really nice spot on the chart for great risk to reward. You see it broke over this key level at this mid 8 spot, and it's starting to test that 9 level. But as you can see, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna save this. So what I do is I make a very broad list, and if you look on the chart here, let me drag you over a little bit. If you look on the chart here, we have this breakout spot at this 860s level. So that's a really nice spot on this chart. The weekly looks okay. It needs to break over that 50-day MA, but regardless, it's a nice setup that I'm going to put on my watch list to maybe do some further looking at later on. So we're going to keep that on our list. We're going to start with our broad scan, and we're just going to compile these names at the top of my screen here on these tabs up at the top, and then once all is said and done, we're going to go through each and every single one of them to see which one fits my criteria the best and which ones I like the most going into tomorrow. So we're going to run a really quick broad scan here. I'm just going to scroll through and see where these setups are that look the best. And now, again, what I'm looking for is high volume daily level breakouts that, have range to the upside and has a nice risk to reward. Now, the thing with Friday is AMC was up huge, so a lot of these meme names are up huge Friday as well, like BBBY and stuff like that. And, that's not really something I really want to be touching. CEMI, another really nice daily level break. You see this 110 level is really key on this chart. If we can show strength over this 200 SMA, I'm really liking it tomorrow. GERN still looks fantastic from Friday. Dive into that in a few. Again, just doing a really quick broad scan, seeing what I like the most here. This is not a bad setup, but the volume, again, is really lacking, and volume is, very important in these plays. If it doesn't have much volume, then I'm not a fan. ILAG, I know it ran big after hours, But again, daily level breakout, major room to the upside. We're going to save that as well for us to look further into. And we're just going to continue to go through all of these. LYEL, again, look at this chart. This is a fantastic A+ setup. We're going to save that as well. It's one I was looking at on Friday. The volume wasn't really there. But again, see, that's what I don't like here. This is what held me back on Friday, and it's the weekly time frame. It just does not look good at all. The weekly time frame looks absolutely horrible. You don't have much room at all. This 200-day, actually it's a 50. You have this 50 SMA really sitting right on top of that close on Friday. The risk to reward just does not seem to be favorable here. So we're going to go ahead and, scratch that off. I really like the daily, really don't like the weekly. And if something doesn't look good on one of the time frames, I tend to just mark it off, because there's always going to be a setup that comes around the corner that looks good on every single time frame. So why settle for less? You know what I mean? Why settle for less ever in your trades? You're risking money. You're risking money. A ton of setups. PSTX. I don't like the setup. But I do like the manipulated offering that I think is coming here. They dropped an offer last week, later in the week, after they put out that news. They announced the offering on the 3rd, I believe in after hours. After saying, that they're partners with Roche, however the hell you pronounce that, Roche. That news was great, and I'm expecting a similar move to what we normally see on these bios. I think we might get a break over this 450 level going into the week, and the MMs may just continue to run this up over $5, as we usually see on these bios. After they drop news and a big old offering like that, they tend to manipulate and just send it up for days. So that's one thing to watch. There's a lot of setups out here. There's a lot of setups going into this week. I really do like it. I'm glad that we, AMC, I hate to say it. If this does make a really big move this week, if AMC does make a really big move this week, not saying it will, if it does, I would keep an eye on small caps as a whole. They're really going to start heating up because, stocks like AMC, GME, your cult names run up by, Reddit, Wall Street Bets, and all that. When those stocks start to heat up, people are taking profit, and people take profit. Well, I say they're taking profit. Most of them are just hodling, praying for the moon. But when those people do start to take profit, they exit that trade, they're going to start, bringing their money elsewhere, and you're going to start to see liquidity spread out in small caps even more than it is now. And, even right now, small caps are absolutely on fire. So if that does happen, that's going to be an absolute, blessing. That's going to be amazing for us, because we're going to get some serious volume in small caps, serious FOMO, serious chasing, and it's going to be a great week. What I'm going to do last, I'm going to run a quick short squeeze scan, and all I'm really going to do for that is we're going to set our short float to 25%, and we're going to quickly scroll through all of these here and see if any of these high short float names are looking decent. I usually do this, and we can usually find one or two. If not, then I just, kind of scratch it off my list. I've already got 8, 9 setups to go through regardless. Key daily level breakouts with range to the upside with very limited risk, so that we have the best risk to reward possible. Now some of these look somewhat decent, and I'm going to save them. Just so I can look a little bit deeper. Wow, REV looks interesting. REV looks very interesting if it can get over that 9. Okay, we're going to save that. It's one of those high short names, but it's definitely a cult following. SRG is a really interesting one too, but the volume just is not there. Workhorse looks interesting as well. We're going to put Workhorse on our list as well for names to go over. And now we have our really broad scan here. We have AERI, AMTX, CEMI, GERN, ILAG, NNVC, PSTX, ADT, FUBO. Probably not going to play FUBO, but again, if the chart is there, we will look to play it. Really high float, high short float name, 34%, and I can see this making a big squeeze move upward. So we'll see. REV, again, really high short float name, 86% short float. We're going to watch that this week as well if it does happen to set up for us. If not, I'll plan for it. If it doesn't meet your entry criteria, then we'll stay out of it. But really high short float name. I would not be surprised if this did squeeze further. And I'm not going to go over all of them in this video because it's just going to take me far too long, and I really don't want to spend 5-6 hours getting this watch list done for you guys tonight. I need to study and make some TikToks and make some posts and blah blah blah, answer questions in the chat. So I'm going to try to do this as quick as possible. So let's start with GERN. GERN is one I really like from Friday. It just never met my entry criteria from the watch list on Thursday night. So we're going to look at this again, and we're going to plan for it yet again. And again, I like the chart here. I really do like the chart here. I can see this coming down, pulling back into this entry criteria, and then ramping back up to highs. And this is a really organic mover. If we look at the 5-minute from Friday, you'll see this is a really, really organic mover. And this thing grinded all day on Thursday, So I'm going to look for a low volume pullback tomorrow, hopefully under this 230 range, risk this 215, 217 for a move back all the way through 250s to 275, maybe even 283. I really like this chart. I really do like this chart. I might even risk that 230. We'll see what buyers do in the morning. But as you can see, this is a very key level. It's 217. I would not be surprised to see it pull back to this 217 key level of support on the chart. So yeah, I really like that setup on GERN. They announced their second quarter results, it looks like, on the 11th of August. So let's see. We can probably play the run up to that. That's on Thursday. So we've got a few days to play the run up on this. And yeah, I think this is going to be a great play this week as well. We should get a little pullback Friday or Monday morning. And if we do, hop in, and we should get a really, really solid move on GERN. As you can see, really nice chart. If we get that pullback to 230s, swooping on the low volume pullback for move back over highs. And this is setting up for a really, really nice move. 300 million share float here. So really organic mover, really slow grinder, really easy predictable play here. And I'm liking it. I'm really liking it. I can see this being a potential short-term swing this week as well. And I might actually look for that. I know a lot of you guys have been wanting the swing stuff. I'm not really a swing type of person anymore. I really like these day trades. Really like to be able to just go in, trade what I want to trade, close out, and just be stress-free for the remainder of the night. But stuff like GERN, these large float names that trade more organic, trade slower, a little bit less risk, a little less manipulated. I feel okay swinging it. Not more than a couple of days. Obviously, they have earnings coming up in 3-4 days. But if you swing it overnight, you should be okay. As long as you're managing your risk and you're not ignoring the stop loss, you should be okay. You're not going to wake up and this thing's not going to be down 20-30% like another crappy small cap would be. I may consider for a swing, a 1 to 2 day swing. We'll see. We will see. So, GERN likely to continue its run up into earnings. Not playing earnings. Do not hold. So anyways, entry criteria here. So what we're going to look for, but you can see this level is here. This 217 level, very strong. 217 level is very strong. Very strong, very strong, very strong, very strong. Price tend to reject off this level a lot in the past. So my guess, we're going to pull back to these, 220s, and then we're going to get some buyers to come back in, swoop back up over this base right here, leg up to do highs. That's my guess. So we're going to be looking for a entry idea on a major pullback below, we'll say 233. 233. Risk, we're going to risk 217, not 220, 217. Targeting a move to 250 to 270 plus. So those are our targets here. Again, it's going to be, if you calculate the risk here, risk is about 5%. Your upside is about 10 to 15% on this trade. So that's our plan here. How do you know where buyers are going to come in? How do you know where to mark your levels on the chart? How do you know blah, 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 blah? And it's all screen time, guys. You have to think. I sit here. I've been sitting at this desk for years now, watching the same stocks each and every single day for, 8 to 10 plus hours a day, just sitting here watching the same stocks over and over with the same patterns, the same setups, the same everything. And eventually you start to learn how stocks move, how they react to different patterns, how they react to different, everything, how they react to everything. And you can pretty much predict how things are going to move. And that's how we're able to catch some awesome plays like we did on Friday. And we had a great day. We had a really, really great day on Friday. As you can see, fantastic day. I see a lot of people killed it in the server as well. And I hope that we have another fantastic week this week. I'm really, really optimistic, highly optimistic. Tons of new faces in the server. I'm really, really happy for all of you guys to be here. Hope this video helps. I really hope this video helps. If you have any further questions regarding the watch list or anything else, be sure to tag me. Do not hesitate to ask questions. I'm always here to help. Literally always here to help. That is what I'm here for. And I hope this helps, guys. I will talk to you guys in the chat.
Park a 2 mil in the middle of my hood. Drinking the mud I made out of the sewer. Chrome heart accessories, whatever.